Welcome to the Atlas Exercise Nutrition Glossary. This video will define nutritional and health-related terms from amino acids to whole grains, expanding your knowledge. The recommended dietary allowance is the amount of nutrients suggested by the National Research Council as necessary to maintain life processes in most healthy persons. Recommended dietary allowance, RDA, definition: the average daily amount of a nutrient considered sufficient to meet the needs of most healthy people. Example: vitamin C, about 90 milligrams per day for adult men. Iron, about 8 milligrams per day for adult men. Fact: RDAs are set by nutrition scientists to prevent deficiency diseases. Humor: the RDA is basically the government saying, eat at least this much so your body doesn't file a complaint. Remission is the period of abatement of symptoms or the lessening of their severity. Remission, definition: a period when the signs or symptoms of a disease are reduced or disappear. Examples: cancer remission, autoimmune disease remission. Interesting: remission does not always mean cure, but it means the disease is under control. Humor: remission is when the disease takes a vacation but might still own the house. The respiratory system is the system of breathing apparatus, including the nose, pharynx, larynx, tonsils, bronchi, and lungs. Respiratory system. Definition: the organs responsible for breathing and oxygen exchange. Main parts: lungs, trachea, bronchi, diaphragm. Fact: an average adult breathes 20,000 times per day. Humor: your lungs work non-stop, even when you're arguing on the internet. RNA is the abbreviation for ribonucleic acid, which carries information from the nucleus to cytoplasmic sites. RNA, ribonucleic acid. Definition: a molecule that helps carry genetic instructions from DNA to produce proteins. Types: mRNA, tRNA, rRNA. Example: RNA tells cells which proteins to build. Current event RNA technology was used in some modern vaccine research in the 2020s. Humor: DNA writes the recipe. RNA tells the kitchen what to cook. Rose hips are the fruit of the rose, which consists of a fleshy, bulb-like receptacle located at the base of the rose. Rose hips. Definition: the fruit of the rose plant, rich in vitamin C. Examples: herbal tea, vitamin supplements, traditional remedies. Fact: rose hips can contain more vitamin C than oranges. Humor: proof that even roses eventually produce something more useful than thorns. Roughage is a coarse, bulky food, high in fiber, which is non-digestible and stimulates bowel movements, such as cellulose. Roughage, dietary fiber. Definition: indigestible plant material that helps move food through the digestive system. Examples: whole grains, vegetables, beans, fruits. Fact: adults should consume about 25 to 38 grams of fiber per day. Humor: roughage keeps your digestive system running like a well-organized plumbing department. Saccharin is an intensely sweet, white, crystalline compound used as a substitute for ordinary sugar. It has no food or energy value. Saccharin. Definition: an artificial sweetener that is much sweeter than sugar. Examples: some diet drinks, sugar substitutes. Fact: saccharin is about 300 to 400 times sweeter than sugar. Humor: 1 grain of saccharin could probably sweeten an entire pitcher of lemonade. A saturated fatty acid refers to fats that are solid at room temperature, with the exception of coconut oil. Saturated fatty acid. Definition: a fat molecule with no double bonds between carbon atoms. Examples: butter, animal fat, coconut oil. Health note: high intake has been associated with higher cholesterol levels. Humor: saturated fat is basically the fat that says, I'm comfortable staying solid at room temperature. Stomatitis is defined as the inflammation of the mouth. Stomatitis. Definition: inflammation of the mouth tissues. Symptoms: mouth sores, redness, pain. Example causes: vitamin deficiencies, infections, irritation. Humor: your mouth's way of saying, please stop eating things that attack me. Stress is anything that places undue strain upon the nervous and glandular systems of the body, stemming from internal or external factors. Stress. Definition: the body's response to physical or emotional challenges. Examples: work pressure, illness, lack of sleep. Fact: chronic stress can affect immune function, digestion, and sleep. Humor: stress is what happens when your brain runs 100 browser tabs at the same time. Strontium-90 is a radioactive isotope that emits beta rays. It is considered a radiation hazard.
Definition: a radioactive isotope produced during nuclear fission in nuclear reactors and atomic weapons testing. Why it matters in nutrition/health. Strontium-90 behaves chemically similar to calcium, so the body can absorb it and store it in bones and teeth. Examples/sources: fallout from nuclear weapons tests, nuclear accidents, contaminated soil entering the food chain through plants and milk. Historical event: during the 1950s to 1960s nuclear testing era, scientists detected strontium-90 in milk supplies, which raised global concern about radioactive contamination entering children's bones. This concern helped push governments toward the 1963 Partial Nuclear Test Ban Treaty, which stopped most atmospheric nuclear testing. Interesting fact: because children's bones grow rapidly, they can absorb more strontium-90 than adults, which is why it was a major public health concern during the Cold War. Strontium-90 is technically a mineral, but it's the one nutritionists agree should never be on your grocery list.
A sulfa drug is a synthetic drug that inhibits or prevents the production of intestinal bacteria.
Definition: a group of synthetic antimicrobial medications used to treat bacterial infections. Examples: sulfamethoxazole, combination drug trimethoprim sulfamethoxazole. Fact: sulfa drugs were among the first antibiotics widely used before penicillin became common in the 1940s. Humor: before modern antibiotics, sulfa drugs were the medical version of "send in the cavalry."
A supplement is a nutrient taken in addition to regular food, available in many forms, such as pills, powder, or liquid.
Supplement. Definition: a product taken to add nutrients that may be missing from the diet. Examples: vitamin tablets, fish oil capsules, protein powder. Fact: millions of people take supplements daily, but nutrition experts often say food should come first. Humor: supplements are like backup singers. Helpful, but the real star should still be your diet.
A symptom is something that indicates the presence of a body disorder.
Symptom. Definition: a physical or mental sign that may indicate disease or a health problem. Examples: fever, fatigue, pain, headache. Interesting: doctors often rely on symptoms plus tests to diagnose illness. Humor: your body's polite way of saying something isn't working the way it should.
A synergist is a remedy that stimulates the action of another, promoting cooperative effectiveness.
Synergist. Definition: two or more substances that work together to produce a greater effect than either alone. Examples: vitamin D helping the body absorb calcium, certain nutrients working together in metabolism. Fact: nutrition science often studies nutrient synergy rather than isolated nutrients. Humor: synergy is teamwork, the biological version of two brains are better than one.
Synthesis is the process of building up or producing, often referring to complex biological processes.
Synthesis examples: protein synthesis in cells, vitamin D synthesis in skin from sunlight. Fact: your body constantly performs thousands of synthesis reactions every second. Humor: your cells are basically tiny biochemical factories working the night shift.
Synthetic means artificially produced, created through chemical reactions rather than natural origins.
Synthetic examples: synthetic vitamins, artificial food additives, certain medications. Fact: many synthetic nutrients are chemically identical to natural ones. Humor: synthetic simply means made in a lab, not necessarily evil genius science experiment. Inside your body right now, your respiratory system is breathing about 20,000 times a day. Your cells are performing millions of synthesis reactions. Your digestive system is relying on roughage to keep things moving. Meanwhile, your brain is trying to decide whether to eat a healthy meal or a box of donuts. Biology is complicated. Diet decisions are sometimes even harder. This concludes the R&S section of the Atlas Exercise Nutrition Glossary. We encourage you to explore the other parts of this video series for more terms.